The pink bollworm is the most destructive pest of cotton in the world. And while it originated in Asia, it soon spread to every cotton growing region in the world. In the 1920s, it came into the cotton belt of the United States. And then about 40 years after that, it was a major problem in Southern California cotton fields.
It was destroying the industry in Arizona and was beginning to spread northward into the San Joaquin Valley. The cotton industry was facing a very serious threat from this pest.
I started with an assignment to try to eradicate pink bollworm in the Coachella Valley as a test in 1970. And it was an impossible task with the resources we had. But I became obsessed with the fact that it should be eradicated and it could be eradicated biologically. It was contingent on the use of transgenic cotton, which is BT cotton. It contains an endotoxin that is incredibly efficient. Sterile insects were the longest standing tool that was to be used in that technology, and insect pheromone technology. So we wove all of those three technologies as the main control technologies into a program. We did a very large number of trials cooperatively between my lab, CDFA, Imperial County, Riverside County, and the other entities in Southern California.
The goal was just to exclude this pest from getting further up into the San Joaquin. As time progressed and they saw how successful the overall integrated approach was, then the growers in Arizona, in New Mexico, in Texas, they wanted to try to apply this technology too.
As other states began participating in the area-wide program, a major challenge was faced, and that was being able to produce millions of sterile insects every day.
The magic number was 5 million. But from that point on, it seemed like we can do this. And when I left the lab, the best day we had was 16 million sterile moths a day.
My first year, we wanted to push it up to 20 million a day to cover these other locations, including California, Arizona, New Mexico, and 2 locations in Mexico.
We were targeted between 26 and 28 million, and there were many, many, many days when we were distributing more than 30 million insects a day out of the Phoenix facility.
It was very satisfying to learn that we finally eradicated the insect. In fact, I talked to Bob maybe every once in a while, and he'd give me a progress report, and it was just like, yes, it's working, it's working.
You dream that you'll come to this end, this success, but it doesn't always happen. And in this case, we saw a program that was 100% effective.
Eradicating pink bollworm has just been a gigantic undertaking. It's taken years and years and years of effort and research and development and just hard work. And it's done so much more than just eliminate pink bollworm. There's so much pesticide use that's been eliminated because of this program.
I have a very good friend who's one of our key cotton growers in Arizona once told me, he said, "Now Bob, thank you, growing cotton is fun."
You have to give tribute to the California cotton growers for having the vision to develop an area-wide approach. And not only that, they had the commitment to fund the sterile insect rearing facility in Phoenix, Arizona. If it wasn't for CDFA and the California cotton growers, I'm sure the program would have died. And this insect is so destructive that if we hadn't eradicated it, it would have eventually driven cotton out of production in California. When you work on these types of programs, you're working yourself out of a job. At least that's the hopeful goal. And so I was glad to be able to retire a few years ago under the success of this program.
When I heard about the award, I was very satisfied in the fact that, in science, sometimes you work in a back room and no one really knows what's going on for a lot of years. And sometimes a lot of the research doesn't reach fruition. And In this case, it did.
I'm proud to have been part of this program. I really enjoyed everybody I ever worked with. I would do it all over again. It was fun for a long time. It was a career well spent, I think.